Hashtag not my Schumann Resonance. Good morning. Happy Monday. I have your energy update for Monday, September 15th. Hi, my name is Paula Taylor. I'm a sound and energy activator, intuitive reader and channeler, body worker, and fearless alchemist, and I coach people on the path to spiritual awakening. So I just making up a new hashtag called not my Schumann Resonance because I just feel so disconnected from it now. And that's okay. It's a tool that we use, but it's helpful to know. Like if I look at the last couple of days and they look pretty quiet, or there's like just a little bit of sort of integration or a little tiny bit of release, that is not the baseline of energy that I am experiencing any longer. It sometimes shows what I feel like I'm experiencing, but more often than not now, it feels more like a background measurement to me. It's sort of measuring a quantum frequency that is not my timeline. If that makes sense, which I don't know if any of this makes sense, but that's kind of where I feel I'm at with the Schumann. So there was a huge amount of activation energy coming in this weekend, like especially Saturday night. I woke up yesterday with a pretty intense headache. I sort of ended Saturday with a pretty intense headache. I had a ton of downloads coming in Saturday. I was like on fire with the intuitive reading and the stuff that I was doing with receiving energy. I have actually been seeing, I see in my like third eye, not necessarily with my physical eyes, but I've been seeing a lot of things that I don't normally see, like actually seeing my guides. I usually just kind of hear them. And one of them was sitting in the room I was in. And again, not with I could see them in my mind's eye, like clear as day, sitting in the corner of the room, doing something amusing. So lots of energy coming in, whether it's reflected on the Schumann or not. And remember that we're still kind of in this activation in service of release. So the first thing I'm going to say is thank you to everybody who participated in that call to action. Keep doing that. I have some feedback about kind of how that's working and what that's doing, because I went to the, I think it's what other people call the Galactic Council of Light. I think of it as the Angelic Council because they started it and they're sort of back in charge, or that's my perception of it. But I went back to kind of check in last night and get some feedback around what's happening. So I was asking, there is this like heavy, dense, oily energy in the collective that we are trying to move, those of us who are kind of on this awakening path and light workers, whatever, star seeds, neurospices, all of the above, generally, angelic origins, elemental origins. We are the people who are doing a lot of the work of trying to get this energy to release. Everybody's got to do their own personal karmic work, but we can move our own karma, and that is reflected in the collective. And then we have this power to kind of collectively set intention, which I saw just so beautifully. We hold the light and the light shall be honored. Keep doing that because it's making a difference. So when I checked in about this last night and I was like, what's going on with this heavy, dense energy? They were showing me the end of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, the original movie from the 90s, where Paul Rubens, the late great Paul Rubens, is dying. And it's just like he's making such a spectacle of it. He's like, and then you think he's dead, and then he's like pops back up in the camera. He's like, ooh. If you've never seen that, you should Google it because it's hilarious. That is what's going on with this sort of like dense, heavy, oily energy, and it doesn't feel funny, but it can be when you look at it in this way. It's like a child throwing a tantrum. Like the energy, the end is already there. Like quantumly, we've already moved this energy. We're just in the physical reality of getting there step by step. But from a quantum perspective, like it is already done. The light shall be honored. And so all of this like chaos and all of this resistance and outright like rebellion of like, it's like little kids going like, no, I don't want to eat my vegetables, even though they're good for me. Like that's kind of the energy that we're in, of moving this energy. And unfortunately, like I can kind of make light of it, and my guides can, because they're not physically living through the manifestation of what this rebellion and this resistance looks like, of these, people that are really invested in this dark, heavy, oily energy, in this like energy of subjugation or domination. That's another way that you can think of it. And it's not pretty stepping out of this energy. It's a difficult process. And we knew this was coming. This is part of the 3D to 5D consciousness shift. If we want to have more clarity, expansion, and harmony, or what a lot of us just call light, if we want to have more love in our collective reality, we have to do the hard work of dismantling what's blocking that within ourselves and then watching that reflected in the larger reality. So this is a marathon, not a sprint. To the best of your ability, understand that and know that it's okay to still find joy. It's okay. And actually, that is an act of sacred rebellion. They're like, it's not just okay, that's an act of sacred rebellion. Laughing at this is an act of sacred rebellion. Thinking of it as Paul Rubens dying in the end of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie is kind of an act of sacred rebellion, because this is no longer a serious energy. It does not have the depth that it used to, because we've already released so much of it that like it has no foundation. And the earth does not want it here anymore. And so she is going to continue assisting us with this really important work. So lots of ascension symptoms. Like I mentioned, I had a headache this weekend. There's a lot of like integration still going on. So you might still be releasing out of whatever system you're releasing out of. You might still be having a lot of kind of like tiredness or feeling like a need for more rest. We are doing really intense work. We are doing work at a depth and breadth that we've never had access to before. And it is tiring. It's tiring emotionally, it's tiring mentally, and it's especially tiring physically. So give yourself some grace. We've got one more week of this sort of heading into the new moon. And I have the anticipation of a really big shift. And I am seeing glimpses of that. And so just trust that that's coming, that there is going to be a degree of lightening, a degree of expansion, and this community that we're building is the fulcrum of that. So just keep engaging to whatever layer you can engage with, and know that you're loved and know that you're supported. So put a hand on your heart, maybe put a hand on your belly if that feels good. Don't do this while you're driving. Close your eyes if you can. And just together with me at the beginning, if it feels good to you, affirm out loud if you can. We hold the light, and the light shall be honored. Uyama ya yama 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 ye. Uyama ya ya ya. Say yama we amo. Taka na kia te ke ataka ua takaya na kia te ke ataka ua takaya na kia te ke kue ana kaya te ki e ataka na atakia no kua taka ua takaya na kia te ke atakaya taka hua takaya te kia te ke ataka na ke ataka kusha na kaya te kia te ke ataka ua na kaya te kia te ke ataka uyama say aye. Remember your very nature, which is unconditional love. On a quantum scale, that is all that exists, is the unconditional love that is within every cell of your being, that is the light you are made of. Allow yourself to reclaim this light, to let this light shine. We hold the light together, and all of us shall honor the light. You are so loved. You are so supported. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Oh, and come see me in Santa Barbara starting this Thursday. Have a good day.